The Coffee Band getting ready to perform under the direction of Larry Ricketts down below. It's 21-7 at the half. The Dessler Tigers with a very impressive performance here in the first half against the Coffee Yellow Jackets, and we'll recap that score in a moment. But let's check some of the great plays from a week ago in high school football. If you think Chester Reed of McIntosh is not an all-around player, look what he did last week. He plays linebacker, and he made 14 tackles and returned an intercepted pass 62 yards for a touchdown. He blocked a punt and ran it back 35 yards for a touchdown. Then on offense, all he did was rush for 142 yards and another touchdown as his team won 42-0 over Milry. So quite a great game right there. But he was not the only one that had a great all-around performance, Bill Hunt.
Well, he's not. Brent Simon rushed for 2 touchdowns, caught a touchdown pass, made 11 tackles, returned one of his 2 pass interceptions for a 58-yard touchdown in Geneva's 29-13 triumph over Dale County.
Even Bill Hunt didn't do that on defense, stuff like that. Rodney Hudson, we saw this guy play church league softball this summer up here in a tournament. They said he's a good running back for Hackleburg, and right they were. He ran for 225 yards and scored 3 touchdowns. He plays for Hackleburg, and that he led the Panthers to a 35-14 upset over Berry. You and I saw this one firsthand.
We sure did, and we know why he's in the prep spotlight this week for his game that he had against these Coffee Yellow Jackets last week. Darrell Green of Russellville rushed for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2 of those runs, 34 and 58 yards, and that was on 11 carries. He also returned a punt, 75 yards for a touchdown. That was the first time he touched the ball in the second half. He didn't touch the ball anymore, but he didn't have to in the game because they had a 48-8 win over Coffee.
I think they outlawed him after that touchdown run. Jeremy Sewell of Oxford kicked 3 field goals, 28, 24, and 41 yards. He's not the normal kicker. He doesn't sit on the sidelines during the other time of the game. He goes in, catches a 21-yard touchdown pass, so that's 3, 6, 9, 15 points in a 29-7 win over Homewood. And Joe Ard and Derek Jones had their own thing going.
Well, they did. Joe Ard passed for 205 yards and 4 touchdowns. All were to Derek Jones in Headland's 35-14 win over Slocum.
Oh, I bet the other ends are mad at him. So that's some of the prep spotlights we enjoy spotlighting each week. And Bill, let's take a look at the stats right now. I'm sure they're going to favor the Deshler Tigers because they're leading 21-7.
Well, they sure are. For Deshler in the first half, they had 14 first downs, 9 by rushing, 5 by passing. Total rushing yards for Deshler, 209. They were 5 of 8 passing for 71 yards. Total offense for Deshler in the first half, and this is what you normally like to get in a game, 280 yards. They were penalized once for 10 yards. They fumbled the ball 3 times and lost 2 of those. They punted once for 31 yards. They had the ball 35 offensive plays and had the ball 15 minutes and 23 seconds. On third down conversions, they were 2 of 4, and on fourth down conversions, they were 1 for 1. For Coffee, they had 4 first downs, 2 rushing, 2 passing. Total yardage for Coffee rushing in the first half, only 26 yards. They were 4 of 9 passing for 75 yards, and Rayfield Ragland was also intercepted twice. Total offense for Coffee, 101 yards. They were penalized 1 time for 5 yards, punted the ball 3 times for a 38.6-yard average. They had the ball 21 plays, 8 minutes and 37 seconds. Coffee was 2 of 5 on third down conversions. So Deshler had the ball almost twice as much as Coffee did in the first half and almost gained 3 times more yardage in the first half.
Well, they're not playing fair. That's exactly the way it looked in 1977, except the team that looked the worst in the stats was leading by 2 touchdowns at that time. So the Deshler Tigers doing a good job here. As we said, the leading scoring team in the area and the top offensive team in the Shoals area. Let's take a look now at some individual stats, Bill.
Well, for Coffee, in the first half, Mark Williams ran the ball 6 times for only 16 yards. Rayfield Ragland ran the ball 3 times for only 10 yards, and those are the only 2 people that have run the ball for Coffee in the first half. On pass receiving, Key caught 1 pass for 17 yards. Summerhill caught the Coffee touchdown, 52-yard bomb from Rayfield Ragland, and Smith caught the ball 1 time for 5 yards. For Deshler in the first half, Bent Smith carried the ball 13 times for 71 yards. That's well below his average. Donnelly carried the ball 8 times for 22 yards. Harvey Summerhill carried the ball 5 times for 116 yards from his quarterback position. One of those a 69-yard run for the touchdown. On pass receiving, Summerhill received the ball 3 times for 52 yards. Donnelly 1 for 5 yards, and Garrett 1 for 14 yards.
All right, the scoring summary. In the first 5 plays of the game, both teams scored a touchdown. Deshler took the opening kickoff, and on the 3rd play of the game, Summerhill sprinting back to throw, decided to run, and he weaved his way 69 yards back and forth across the field for the touchdown, a 69-yard run. That was an 80-yard drive in just 3 plays. Scoggins' kick was no good, and the Tigers led 6-0. They kicked off to Coffee, and on 2nd down from the 35-yard line, Rayfield Ragland hit Gerald Summerhill, from the 48-yard line with a 52-yard pass. Williams gained 13 yards on 1st down, and then Rayfield Ragland hit Summerhill with a 52-yard touchdown pass. Turner's kick was good. That was a 65-yard drive in just 2 plays, so with just 2 minutes gone on the clock, Coffee led 7-6. And then the rest of the half, it was all Deshler. A little bit later on in the first quarter, Coffee punted, and Harvey Summerhill, who's really been the star of tonight's first half, returned the punt to the 17-yard line, and 3 plays later, Donnelly scored on a 1-yard run. Garrett caught a 2-point conversion pass from Summerhill. That was a 17-yard drive in just 3 plays. And with 4:46 to go here in the first half. Deshler led it 14-7, and then with a minute 46 to go, or in between that and the last touchdown, Deshler had the ball on their 10-yard line and drove it 89 yards down to the Coffee 1-yard line and fumbled, or this score could have been much worse. Then they come back and go 67 yards in just 5 plays. Summerhill again on a roll out the pass. His receivers were covered. He tucked it in and ran 31 yards, touchdown. 67 yards in 5 plays. Scoggins' kick made it 21-7 at the half. So out of the 4 total touchdowns tonight, the drives have been 2, 3, 3, and 5 plays. So Bill Hunt, both teams tonight have struck and struck quick.
Well, they have, and that shows you what kind of explosive offense that Deshler has. They can score from anywhere on the field at any time. They've got tremendous speed. We expected Ben Smith to break the long runs, but it hasn't been him tonight. It's been Harvey Summerhill from his quarterback position. 2 long scoring plays where he was actually back to pass the football, and Coffee had good defensive coverage, and he had to pull the ball down and run it. But when he runs it, he's got tremendous speed too, and good open field awareness where he gets away from the Coffee defenders, and he's carried them both for touchdowns.
Bill, we've got an old football opponent of yours. Bill Askew played against you for the Sheffield Bulldogs. He's the public address voice of the Bradshaw Bruins. And, Bill, we understand you had a game quite similar to that last night when Bradshaw and Sheffield played over here.
Yeah, Jerry, we did. Starting out of the ball game, Sheffield scored first. They drove the ball down the field and scored. And Bradshaw's first possession last night, they also drove the ball down and scored. We had a real good ball game last night. The final score was 21-13.
Well, you had a lot of good games against this old guy sitting right here, Bill Hunt. He kind of drove you guys crazy in one of those games, didn't he? Scored 4 touchdowns.
Crazy is not the word for it. Exactly there, Jerry. He just drove us nuts, really, when it gets right down to it. Yeah, I played a lot of football against Bill, and he's always seemed to have an excellent ball game against us.
Bill Hunt, Bill Askew, pretty good fair country quarterback, wasn't he?
Well, he was, and he made a statement to me sometime back that I didn't believe. He said he completed a pass for a touchdown over my head in that game, and I didn't remember that. And we had an opportunity to watch the film, and he was right. I had.
That's Bill Hunt. He wouldn't admit it if he knew it, right? What do you do?
Shannon.
What?
This is homecoming day 1989 for Coffee High School, and half the band is at our house trying to get ready. There's a bed under there somewhere, believe it or not. Ooh la la.
Why don't you turn around and shoot Carissa? She ain't got no shorts on. Stop. Where's your makeup thing? What's your face red for?
It doesn't show up red on here. This is black and white.
Where's your makeup thing? What?
Where do you put makeup on?
Just right there. You put it on right there.
Hey. Was it there?
I'm not my favorite cheap thing. Hey, give me some toilet paper, Shannon. Can you see it now? What? We're out. Use a rag. You stop it.
Just because she's done
Let
pulled
go
my
of my
drawers up
shirt.
twice.
Now look at you. Get it out. What? You better do better than that, chick. You better start licking.
Funny song.
I do. What now?
How'd you find some darker makeup? They hadn't had any darker.
thing is got to be adjusted. What kind of looks that?
Did y'all realize this is the first sunshiny day?
Hey, we're gonna get to wear the white uniform.
What?
It's the first time it hadn't rained, sprinkled, or been.
Where's the makeup? What'd you do with it?
I just said it down. I gotta hear you.
Homecoming preparations here.
Here's the whore brush. Down there. Okay.
Homecoming is in the
God. Wait, I know.
Can't put makeup
I
on.
know, that's what I'm saying.
But one time I had it before.
Jessica, did you get my toothbrush?
Yeah, I ate it.
It's serious. I can't function without the toothbrush. Man, these are not bring mine. Shit. I got half of it.
We didn't even size up toes. Yeah, everything else up, right? Looks like we're up here. Let's go to the break. Hey, we'll take a seat.
Defending the north goal, Russ will be kicking off and defending the south goal.
Gotta put our name on it.